Let's check it out. Okay. Thank you, Punishing, for putting this together. Is athlete there? We just add athlete. I don't think athlete is it. It's quite generic. I slightly engineer and mechanic is super different. Yes, they are. Is carpenter higher than F? It will be. Okay, right. Let's start off with the army. What is the base? Well, it depends which army. What's the base pay of the army? I mean, I think what's quite good is it like obviously they cover while you're serving, they're covering every expense of yours during service. So it's like it's one of the only jobs on here that fully covers everything. Yeah, it's and obviously I mean, it's not any specific army we're doing here. This is just generally your sort of nation's service. So I think that I think it's great to serve for your country. Kind of aura. I think we're just thinking about it logically. So in the UK, the base pay is 26. So yeah, I mean, but at least you get accommodation. You're joining kind of a structure. It can obviously, for some people, it can kind of help them become more disciplined. I think as far as like, oh, thank you, nice one, brother. As far as like, if it's logic, yeah, I'm thinking. So my feeling is it's. I think these sort of your doing duty for your nation brings it higher than the middle of the pack, and service for your country, but. Yeah, I mean, I think there obviously are issues with it, like as far as it is relatively low pay. But you get food, accommodation, and healthcare. But then obviously the other side of it as well is you're having to go not every role in the army, but you're having to put yourself in. Yeah, you have to risk your life. And so that side of the logic, yeah, hard training, yeah. Wait. We actually need to think on what are the deciding factors. Is it a job we would want to do? What are the actual deciding factors here? Is it a job that you want to do? Or no, I'm asking rhetorically, like, what are the deciding factors? Like, that could be one of them, or is it pay? Is it, or like, what's the logic here? Like, yesterday's logic was, how would you feel going for a pint with someone who's a celebrity? For someone who's fresh out of school, that's good pay. Yeah, that's true too, bro. And I think you can join from, in the UK, what's it, 17 or 18? Or is it 16? Yeah, it's, what, I'm trying to think what we're actually listing it on though. How helpful they are. All right, I tell you what, we'll do it as like, what's the best, like, first job? No. How hard is it to do paper? All right. We'll take a general approach to them. Yeah. So in my opinion, I'm going to put it at the service element of it. I think is strong. Like, obviously doing service for your country, but as far as like, it's an extremely difficult job, and it's definitely not going to be for everyone. Maybe we'll put it at an A. Fair. You can veto it later on, but I think I'm going to put it at an A. Yeah, go for it, Punishing, brother. Just because I think obviously maybe it should. I'll put it at B. Just in terms of like, obviously they cover like a lot of your expenses. You're doing service for your country. It's you're learning discipline. But then yeah, on the other side of it, obviously there are like, to be fair. Oh man, it's difficult. There are obviously challenges with it as well, like in terms of, I mean, major challenges in terms of like the effects that it has on you. Like, you don't really have it, like, as far as what your orders are, you have to go and do that. Oh yeah, that's it too, bro. The reality is, I suppose training is the bit that kind of gets you disciplined, but it's what you actually the sort of being on the sharp end of whichever country you're from's like attack spear. It can obviously, I don't think the thought is to get the job done, not I mean, yeah, it's complicated, very complicated. I think a lot of people feel, war. I mean, war is horrific. Yeah, war is horror. Which I guess is the inevitable position you would end up being from the army. So let's leave it here. We'll put it in C. My real ranking would be kind of there, but like, yeah, Road, that's true. It's extremely. Oh man, it's tough. That's a tough one. Like I think some of those benefits don't outweigh the fact that there is a potential you can suffer some of the most. You can see some of the most horror and be on the sharp end of some of the most horror that can possibly exist. So we'll put it out at C for now. Yeah, that's true. Long away from family, yeah. And it's like you got to commit your whole life to the job. It's not like some of these other jobs where you have to commit like a part of your life. You guys can veto it, but I'm gonna just leave it at B for now. You got to commit like your whole life to it. All right, it's sort of in the. Really, it's a B, C slash. All right, I'll put it on. We'll put it on B. All right, bartender. No, I'll put it on C. We'll just start off in the middle then. Bartender. This was a really tough one to start. I think is a really complicated one. I think Nico's right. I think obviously big respect to people decide to join up the service when it's not conscription. But yeah, I think for me it would be probably under conscription. That would be the way that I would join. Bartender I've done before. It's actually like if you get used to it, it's if you get used to it, it's not a bad job. Like getting used to like knowing where all the different beers are, all the different stuff, having to deal with drunk people that's the worst element of it. To be fair, when I was working at the pub, I was just also becoming one of the drunk people. Like I was having a little sip of a cheeky pint here and there. I didn't do this one bartender job for long, but it was while I did it, it was in the city, the pub. I really hated it. I hated serving the people at the pub. And it's just, yeah. If you find the right pub that's got a good vibe, it can be amazing. And yeah, pay is really not great. If you get paid badly, then it can't be over B. Yeah, pay is a big one on this. I think bartender is. I'll put bartender in D. Like it can be. The thing is, I think it's rare where you'll find like a really good like bar. But I think you could find a bar that's got a really chill spot. But I think it's like your hours are crazy long as well. I remember working in a bar. It was like having to work till like flipping 3 a.m. or something like that. Like it was rough. One of the better customer facing roles, but not great. Yeah, it's one of the more chiller customer facing roles. But actually, it's kind of like it's rough. It's rough. It can be like I think if you've got a good landlord at the pub, it's fine, or at the bar you got a good manager. But if you don't have a good manager or landlord and they're low key just like pressing you on stuff, then it's an L. The pub I worked at was quite chill. Like I said, I was having sips of beer here and there, so it was relatively relaxed. But yeah. Anyway, bin man. This is actually a decent job because you finish at 2 p.m. So your hours I think are between, or even sometimes earlier. Your hours are between like 6 a.m., which is obviously, or 5 a.m. even earlier, and then you finish like in the middle. I don't know. I think it's overlooked. I think people just think because you're dealing with waste that it's like, oh, that's not a good job. And I think it's kind of in the media, it's being portrayed as like a less good job. I actually really rate it as a line of work. I think it's actually quite difficult to get into as a line of work. Like if you're talking about like being on a route, I think it's quite a challenging job to actually get in. I don't think the pay is terrible. A rubbish job. It's not that bad. I think you get used to the smell, especially if you're doing like organic waste. I think you get used to it. I don't think it's that rough. I'm just gonna. Do you know what? I think I'm gonna. Oh man, Army was a really challenging one. I feel like Army. Should we? I don't know if we should include Army on the list. It feels like because I feel like the reasons why you would do the Army job feel different to why you would do these jobs. So it's kind of throwing my list. Does that make sense? But I feel like it's throwing my list because I feel like the reasons why you do Army is different. Why you choose to join the Army feels very different to why you do these. Because it's kind of throwing my list every time I'm bringing stuff into here. It feels like I feel like it's throwing the list because it's like reasons why you would. I'm gonna keep it off the list for now because I feel like the reasons why you join it are more complicated than these other ones. It's not whether it's a good job or not. It's just it's a more complicated job. I think as to sort of logic behind it. I'll come back to it once we look at the whole list. Okay, I think I'm gonna put bin man at a. I don't think bin man is a D. I think it's all right. Man, is a bin man? Do you think it's better being a bin man or a bartender? Do you think like the experience? It's literally the opposite of each other. Like they're literally the opposite of each other because you're doing the opposite hours. You think it's better to be a bartender? All right, let's move bartender to C. I'll move bin man to D. Again, the pay at bin man pay is not bad. What's the pay for bin man in the UK? $24 to $25. So it's roughly the same as army. All right, we'll keep at D. All right, let me move this one here. Carpenter. That's a good. Being a chippy is a good job. Probably not. You're not going to get the paid out of. You're not getting paid the most out of all the trades, but it's a decent job. It's a decent job. I'm going to put carpenter at B. You get to work with your. You get to work with your hands. It's the work. It's sometimes heavy work, but sometimes can be like quite like good craft. You can run your own business. How is carpenter F? Punishing chill. You can run your own business. I mean, you're basically always going to have work because stuff will always need to be built out of wood. I think carpenter is a trade. No road. I think you're just thinking of what is like jobs like being an astronaut or like a lawyer. The way I feel, but near perfect isn't about like. I would say like I would put if. What do you mean? What do you just mean the most money or the most like revered? Because these jobs here are the crucial jobs in society. Being a carpenter is a good job, brother. I don't know what you're talking about. I think you're talking about whether it's good, as in whether you tell someone your job and then they say to you like, "Oh, that's a great job," not the actual experience of working the job. Because I think working as a carpenter, you can do as a carpenter. You can run your own business you can run your you as your own business, so you can kind of do your own hours. You're basically employable in every single country in the entire world within reason of the visas you get. What's a top job, brother? You're talking about lawyer, you're talking about astronaut, you're talking about these sorts of things. Like I would say it's comparable, but it's not right. There we go. That's what I was looking for. It's not whether it looks good, it's whether the job is like the experience of the job is good. It doesn't matter it's not about what it looks like on your CV to other people. I think being a carpenter is a strong job. It's decent. Yeah, fair. If you feel, I wouldn't out of these three, I'd choose the carpenter. You get to make stuff. You get to feel accomplished in building stuff. Every day looks a little bit different. You get to work inside and outside. You do hands-on work. Like it's a really decent job. It's a really decent job. Oh, let me just move this shit. Oh, that's gonna fuck something up. Yeah, big on the creativity from the job as well. Damn, we really cooked this stream. My God, everyone's left. All right, let's move on. Farmer. This is a really tough job. Oh, where's Luke? What the fuck? Has he been here? Has Luke been here at all? I'm punishing chill, brother. If you didn't have... Oh, what's up, James? Farmer. Unfortunately, being a farmer in today's world is a very challenging job. It's so challenging. I mean, I've seen on the farm what it's like. It's tough. I would say the hours are way tougher than bin man. The hours are way tougher than bartender. It's almost a 24/7 job. But are we doing it based on how hard it is or how accomplished it feels? Man, this feels rough doing this tier list. I would say as far as like, I tell you what, this list is just based on. I'm basing this list on how much I'd like to do the job. Personally, drive big tractors. You feel very accomplished, but it's very little. There are very, very few positives unless you own the land. I'll put it at C. Oh man, this feels rough. I'm gonna have the whole like workforce violating me for this list. As as essentially an unemployed. Well, I'm not. I mean, obviously, I'm a content creator. All right, let's move through this swiftly. We should have. I should have done things that were a bit easier. You get discounts on your own food. I mean, but it's not prepared food, Zilla. It's got to go through the processing, so you can't really eat just straight up wheat. Well, you can, I guess. You can process it yourself, but yeah, I guess you get access to food, which is good. Right. What the hell is that? What is that punishing? Oh, eggs, yeah. That's true. What is that? What is that? What is that? What is this one? What is this one? Finance. I really have to question, what do they actually do in finance? Like, no, not office job. It's finance specifically. What are they actually doing in finance? Like, what are they producing? Brother, you are just... I know the vibe you've got, Road, on these. It's not my vibe at all. I don't think you're producing much. I think you're finding profits, essentially, for company. No, Road. Carpentry is a strong job, brother. Road? Have you had a job before? Finance, yeah, I don't know, like what? I think I think it. If you worked as a waiter, fair. If you, Zilla, to be fair, in this finance is slightly. Wait, I mean, well, it depends where you. I don't actually know where you work. Zilla, this is more like, I'm picturing more like investment banking. Look, man, I think investment banking it can be pretty slick, like, and it can be pretty like fast pace, like, you know, loaded up on cocaine, flipping, going to the pub every day, a bar every day after work, like finding big profits. It can be quite like sexy, but it also can be like dead boring. Yeah, I'm gonna put it with carpenter. Different strokes for different folks, but kind of in a similar realm. And this is just like as much as I'd like to do it. I would burn out within the first week in finance. Brother, you have to. Are you joking, Road? What, you think you just turn up with your tools on to the workshop or on site, and you know how to do carpentry? You have to study to be a carpenter, brother. It's called college, and you can do really extensive studying on it. You don't just turn up to the site with your tools. Yeah, all right. We'll have that energy, Road, with my opinions. Casey, what's up? No, I won't violate, Road. But yeah, it's no, you got to study for both. But yeah, to be honest, I would say out of the two that you need less studying for is finance. In finance, you don't need to. You can study maths. You could study computer science. You could study business. You could study. Like people have gone from like. I mean, if you just went to Cambridge or Oxford, you could get a job in finance, irregardless of the degree. Yeah, you study on the job though. Both of these you can study on the job. Right, firefighter. That's a pretty goated job. You get to. It's very challenging, but it feels very accomplished. It's very hard to get into the London Fire Brigade as well. I don't know about the other fire brigade departments, so I'm gonna put firefighter at. I think the risk of being traumatized of your work though is quite high, so we're gonna put that as C. Yeah. What job would I be doing? I'll be working as a prop maker. It is in here, prop maker, which is like a mix of different trades. Like I was doing a bit of like casting work. I was doing like sculpture. I was doing a bit of chippy. I was doing painting and decorating. I was doing like quite random. I think I would have specialized in painting and maybe like making casts, like doing like sculpture. It's not a made up job. It's called a prop maker. But yeah, you kind of have to have a little bit of skill in like 4 or 5 different trades. But then they do have specialists there as well. They had like specialist chippies, specialist sparkies, and then my job was kind of, you want to do engineering. But what do you want to do in engineering, Road? Yeah, I mean, they obviously have prop makers for films, but the props we did were more for museums, artworks. Prop designers different. We would get designers in, and they were usually like melons who like flipping thought they were the coolest kid at school or whatever, and you know, they were like, right, can you just move this here and just make this? It's like, realistically, us lads are the ones making everything, and they're just, you know, being like, right. Even though I just felt like, because I had the skill to be do the design as well, and I always just felt overlooked, like being, especially when the actual design people come in and they'd be like, you know, kind of, I felt always like they had their nose pointed up at us. Zilla, I think you mean prop designers as in it sounds more like theatre, but the designers we had were just like general designers who would come in, like, for example, if they designed the artwork, or the artists, and they always kind of had their nose, it always just felt like they had their nose up at us, even though we were the ones making the work. To the spec, obviously, but anyway, just kind of how I felt. Cybersecurity. No, I don't need TTS on right now. All right, let's move on. Macca's. Again, like, if you work at McDonald's in Switzerland, you're earning $1. Like, the minimum wage in Switzerland is really high. I think it's like 22 an hour. I don't know if it's the same at Macca's. Decent job. Like, it's harder to get a job here at McDonald's than you think. It's not like just like a always available job. So I don't think it's too bad. Look, oh man, I don't think any job is an F. It's not a decent job. Yeah, I think as much as I would do it if I really needed a job, I would do it. Yeah, that's true, Zilla. But it's not. I don't think it's a bad job. Like, my first job was at Starbucks, and it was like another coffee shop I went to as well soon after that, which is quite similar in terms of, you know, being at a big chain. I really didn't mind the job. Yeah, Zilla, that's true, which is quite fun actually. All right, we'll just put it at an F because you boys are low key, like, it's not a horrid job. Oh man, we should never have done jobs. This is horrific. I don't put any job as an F. If you're employed, it's great. All right, let's move on. Paramedic, yeah, that's, again, I would say is similar to firefighter. It's great work, like, in terms of like the pride you feel in your work, but it's, well, at least I would feel in it. But then, yeah, I think it's on the likelihood that you could get traumatized or something like that, and the hours are insanely challenging. You think C? Yeah, maybe. I would actually. Yeah, let's move it up one. I mean, then I should move firefighter up one. Fuck. Why would paramedic? Would I prefer? I'd prefer to be a firefighter than a paramedic, just personally, just because I feel like I would prefer to work. Like, I find it more interesting. Ah, yeah, that's a good shout. It's not as, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. True. Yeah. All right. This is. It's just below because of danger. Yeah, that's true. Parking enforcement. There's no way Macca's should not be above parking enforcement, or below, at the same level as parking enforcement. This job is oh my god. Look, at least it's a job, but it's an L, bro. Oh my god. Oh, all right, we'll put them there. What are you talking about, Road? Yeah, Zilla, you're literally like, everyone's got beef with you. Everyone's got beef with you. Bro, it's just about the job, man. It's not about any other shit. Plumber. Zilla, exactly, bro. That's why, actually, I'm always low-key nice to the parking enforcement. And I'm always a bit surprised. I always say, there's a one guy I always see in the car park that I go to. I'm like, morning, pal, you're right. This is the thing that everyone thinks, Road, but they're just doing their job. So I always treat them really. I'm always really nice, and so I think if you're like, I think sometimes they let you off a little bit. That's the bit I actually don't like, is the fact that I feel like they've got discretion, and sometimes they don't use that discretion. Like, they'll use that negatively for no like real apparent reason. So I don't really like a job where you've got where there's discretion on something that someone then has to have like a negative experience from. Plumber, yeah, it's a strong job. This is gonna ruffle some feathers. Is a plumber as a trade better than carpentry? Would I prefer to do it? Oh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna put it on the same level as carpentry, because I think all of the trades I think are gonna be here that I'd want to do. Plumber is top of B. Better be higher. Plumber is a good job. Chill with the punishing. You got to chill your beef with carpentry. Police. Again, but police is like, oh man, police is a complicated one. It depends what I think. Being a detective would be quite interesting. I think it's quite an interesting job, but it's a bit like firefighter. I'm going to put it on the same level as firefighter. I think it's I think you could like the. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think I don't really have a beef with the police necessarily. I think it's a necessary part of social balance, but incorrectly used is not great. No, it's all. I'm just kind of picturing it all because you in the UK to become a detective. You part of the route is you become a officer on the beat first for a bit, and then you can apply for the detective route, or you could go straight to detective. But there's more applications you have to do or studying. Yeah, Zilla, I think it's an interesting job, man. I think it's an interesting job. I think that it's the same issue with parking enforcement. There's a lot of discretion, and I think that discretion has been abused in the past. I think that's where the issues are with that. And so I think this is the biggest thing, is like where it feels unfair is where discretion is used, incorrectly. I think I really don't think it's not. I mean, it's not in the UK. Being police is not massively dangerous compared to like America, for example. But yeah, pay is, if you're a sergeant, what's it? I don't know what the roles are even. I'm gonna leave it there for my personal list. You can obviously you can veto things later on. Postman, being a postie is decent. Pretty, I would say it's on the level of being a bin man. The hours are quite good. What's up, Buki? Hours are quite good. Yeah, but it's pretty. I feel like it's. I don't know. People used to be quite grateful for it, but I think with like Amazon delivery, it became pretty thankless. Yeah, Zilla, you get outside, pretty consistent work, but I think in recent years, I think it's become a bit of a thankless job. I think people don't care as much, whereas it used to be quite a respected role. Like people would like have a relationship with their postie. Have I met other popular YouTubers? A few, Buki. All right, I don't know what this is. Oh, prop maker. This is a tough job. It's really hard on your body because the self industry, like, it doesn't have the same practices as like normal trades, so it's low-key just really rough on your body. I would put it it's, in my opinion, it's just a bit of an L because you don't have a specialization necessarily unless you're doing props for like films. And this is not in the UK prop maker. I mean, it means a slightly different thing. No pilot is crazy. Oh fuck, we're gonna have to do more of these. I'm not in love with. I'm feeling like, my God, this is stressful. Like because it feels like I'm like violating lines of work. And I think if you've got any job, it's like good. I don't really. These aren't like. That's why I'm not loving the idea of having to put it in a tier list. But this is kind of what we're doing. We'll have to do another tier list, and we'll do the top ones against the top ones. I would put them all as S tier if I could. But we're obviously giving my opinion on what I'd like to do, so that's kind of why I feel better about it. All right, you just got to be agitated, Road. Damn it, Nico. Well, bake me something nice if you come over. What's electrician? Again, I'm putting all the trades. Any trade is B in my opinion. Prop maker, the only one is again, it's just a bit. It's just complicated. Delivery driver, that in my opinion is D. I would put postman slightly above delivery. Delivery driver can be fun. Don't get me wrong. I have a friend who did Deliveroo back when it first began, and it seemed like pay was very good and the one service he was using. I don't know, Nico. Well, if you're coming to my house, brother, don't come empty-handed. Gosh damn. Fun employed. S tier, isn't it? Yeah, Deliveroo is very oversaturated. Early days, my friend was making like 300 a day. Yo, Kagis. Oh shit, where's the kick chat? We need to add some more. We'll have to do this another day. We're gonna run out of time. Yeah, fun employed is an S. Alright. Oh man, S or F. I think it depends on your perspective of life and how much money you got in the bank. Fun employed. No, we'll put fun employed. No, I can't do that to the workforce. All right, fun employed is an F. Fun employed is an F. If you got like a whole bunch of money in the bank for whatever reason, fun employed is S. If you don't have money coming in, fun employed is F. Social media. Look, there's very specific, unique challenges to doing social media and no one gives a fuck about any of your challenge. No one wants to hear you gripe about any of the challenges, which is totally fair enough considering like they are kind of kind of made up. But at the same time, they are real when you experience them. So, like, how do I feel about it? It's quite wide. If you're successful, if you're doing what you want to do with it, then it's great. But it's like the percentage of success in this industry is minuscule. So I'll put it at a B. I'll just because it's my experience. I would say I marginally enjoy it more than being a prop maker, but I very much enjoy being a prop maker. So, but it does give you more freedom. So that's why I'm just gonna put it above that. Doctor. Oh man, doctor is really complicated. You got to do like 7 years, right, or like 5 years. Yeah, Zilla, like you might not be built to handle it. To be honest, most people get hate at some point in this industry. It's just how well you're built to handle it. Doctor is an A. Oh man, is it? The thing is, I don't feel like if you're talking socially, what people think about your job, then yeah, doctor is an A. But if you're talking like the actual experience of being a doctor in this country, I think it's fucking hard. Brother, you do not earn a lot as a doctor in the UK unless you're in private practice. You literally know how to self-heal. Why can't I put a doctor at the same level as a carpenter? Man, I mean, doctor... It's not what socially people think about the job. It's what jobs I'd like to do. Yeah, I'll put it as an A. I mean, I'll put it as an A just because I know if I don't put it as an A, like you got like a perspective on that. But I just don't think. I think doctor gets an A. It's an extremely necessary job, and they don't earn anywhere near enough. Carpenter can't self-heal. Yeah, you can. You get a bit of brothers. You get a bit of super glue and just. I've seen someone cut a huge cut into their finger and just squirt super glue onto it and go like this. Astronaut. Yeah, astronaut's got to be S tier, doesn't it? Yo, Heath. Teacher. Oh, man. A teacher today is probably one of the roughest jobs I could... Like, I really respect teachers, but it's probably one of the roughest jobs. Teaching the generation coming up now, which would have just been off the iPad kids. Oh, man, that's got to be tough. Your lifespan automatically extends just for having the knowledge of health. Zilla, I didn't really ever know that, bro. Being a teacher today is so long, man. Like, everyone's got short attention spans and there's no discipline. It's got to be C. I would theoretically put it on D. Oh man, no, it's got to be a C. I personally, or maybe even a B. The experience of being Heath, brother, carpenter's not S tier, man. It's a good job, but it's not S tier. Singer, I think to be honest, I don't rate being a singer as a job, personally. The reason I don't is because I think you just get flipping used by the industry. Like I think there's nothing you can do about it. I think your managers make your career in some ways in music. Like you could have all the talent in the world, and if you don't have a good management, you can't do anything really. And so you're kind of just told, go there, go do that, you got to go do that, you got to go do that, you got to go do that. Nico, you're looking down the pipeline, I see. So I think it's actually a really like mentally draining job, and I think there's not much, there is accolade in it for the very few successful ones, but I think a majority of the people are not making it to the big time. Plus, when you make it, you get recruited to the Illuminati. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of music is a bit, again, it comes down to the managers. It's like, okay, you need to go do that, and you need to go there, and you need to go there, and you need to go there, and you need to go there. And you just got to be like, you just got to smile and nod a little bit, I think, with that industry. Otherwise, you'll be seen as a pariah, especially on in your early career. The amount of success you need to be able to just go do your own thing, like a few musicians now are kind of leaving their management, like is crazy. Like the control that huge business has around the industry is so like massive. Like you're not really doing your thing. You as a musician, you're not in control of your marketing, you're not in control of the music distribution, you're not in control of anything. You just go on the stage and sing. Like you're told, go perform, go do this. You're just like told what to do all the time. Yeah, I'm not putting finance anywhere near doctor and flipping astronaut. Fuck's sakes, definitely not. All right, musician. I'm gonna put that as C. Zilla, it is a little bit because it's just the way the industry kind of is built is I've worked quite a lot of different jobs. I've not done all of these jobs, but I've done a few of these, yeah. But I'm self-employed now, so I've been self-employed for 5 years. So I pay my taxes. Right, OF. Yeah, I mean it's got to be, look, OF is, look, you can make insane money, but what you have to do for that insane money is not great, I don't think. I mean, I don't judge it too much personally. It's like, let people do whatever they want, but I would say it's on the level of fun employed. Road, but you think that, bro, but as a singer, man, imagine you just don't feel like doing a performance. Imagine you're mentally just not up for it, and you have to go do it. You've signed contracts, you have to go perform in front of your audience, you have to go do that thing, and you just don't feel like it. Maybe you're dealing with anxiety, maybe you're dealing with like all sorts of stuff. Not all creators make it. Yeah, Zilla, majority of the creators are not making significant money at all, actually, and it's the ones who are making loads of money or selling the dream on it. So name 10 jobs: astronaut, doctor, carpenter, investment banker, paramedic, plumber, electrician. What are you talking about? There's 10 in front of me. More than 10. It's 16. This is quite a lot of jobs, brother. I'm not gonna. What game is this, Lotion? What is Farmer doing so high? I just feel like it's a complicated one, Farmer, because I feel like farmers are very proud of their work. There's a huge amount. I know a couple of farmers. There's a huge amount of pride in your work, and I think that doesn't come from nowhere. Maybe not. Nah, I don't know. Do you know any farmers, Road? Well, it depends, Zilla. You could be leasing a land. So you might not be making all that much at all, but yeah, I mean, if you own your land, it's a bit of a different job. If you're a landowner, you're taking care of the land and you're making money as a farmer. But Bonnie Blue collab when? Well, no time soon, brother. Luke Mitchell as a farmer, yeah, Luke will be happy with that. I think he would want it higher for sure, but it's, in my opinion, it can be one of the toughest jobs. Like, the hours are, it's 24/7, 365 being a farmer. You don't get a day off at all. And it's grueling work sometimes, most of the time. Right, athlete is a great job, isn't it? But it's so, oh man, to make it as an athlete, what you've got to put your body through, what you've got to do. Oh, really, Nemo? I'm just basing this on my experience with the farmers that I know, to be honest. I think it's a great job, but you ruin your body if you're a top level athlete. You're not getting away it from without any damage. Yeah, Zilla. If, for example, if your parents had got you into that sport young and you are now the breadwinner of the family through that sport, my God, what a drain emotionally. Ah, well, Nico, man, you might not see the results of it now, but I'm telling you, bro, if you're training as much as you need to train, I'm sure you did, for high level sport, you are damaging your body slightly. You can't avoid it. I mean, I certainly did from tennis and stuff like that. Athlete is an A. I just think there's quite clear routes to become a doctor. Like, it feels less clear to become an athlete. Yeah, but majority of the footballers don't get paid a fuck ton. You got a six-pack. Okay, Nico. I'm talking more about joint issues. Athlete is A. If you make it, then it could be. Yeah, I mean, you're pretty renowned. Like, I'll put athlete at an A because I think if you do make it, you're pretty renowned. All right, I don't want... Road, don't... Give me your opinion. Don't tell me why I need to put things. Chill a bit. Name 10 surgeries. No. Mechanic. I really like... Again, it's a trade. I'm going to put it there. And army, I'll put army in... it's a really complicated one because there's more... Oh, no, don't want to put it there. I'll just put it with the trades. I'll just put it with the trades. Yeah, it feels like it fits within this category, or maybe. Yeah, I think it's army and police. Maybe it's quite similar vibes. No, I'll put it with the trades. It feels in terms of duty. It's a different sort. This is like a bit more of a slightly negative duty. This is like a bit more of a positive. Oh my god, this was tough. There's my final list. I look like a villager. Thank you. No, this was really hard. Do you know what? For me, this was significantly more difficult because the army one threw me at the start. I think it's really complicated. Like it depends on your perspective on lots of things as well. The army, obviously, perspectives on, if you've got any perspectives, any negative feelings about like what. Yeah, I mean, it really threw me at the start because I was like, yeah, obviously there's civic. It's not civic anymore. You're not a civvy. You're in military. So it's like the pride of duty for your country, but then also at the same time the complications of what you're going to do. So I think even for people who have served, I think it's not even cut and dry. I think it's like it can sometimes be, particularly if they've seen a lot of action, it can be very complicated as to their feelings around it. So I think this is kind of how I feel in terms of whether I'd like to do the job or not. Well, there we go. That was a bunch of waffle. That's my list. Do you guys agree? Disagree? Army is debatable. All right. Minus the army one because I think it's a bit more of a complicated one. Can we play Roblox Condos? What is that? To be honest, we're seeing some Roblox games that look quite good. Look, it's well thought through, this list. I'll tell you that for free. I really put a lot of effort into thinking about when I do these lists, like not just doing what is just like. I could easily make a list of what I think people think these all should be. Astronaut is an S just because I think if you're one of the few people who gets to be in space, I think you're ultimately in the history books. And I think it's paid quite well. You can kind of do so much afterwards. Yeah, radiation, there are issues with it. Let's Play is super fun and interactive. What is this? Roblox Condos. Let me have a look. Right, there's our list. What is this? Is it clapped? Oh, what the hell is this? Nah, fuck. Oh, dude. What the fuck is that? Oh, you strange guy, man. HME, what's up, brother? Nah, that's fucking weird, dude. Why would you want to play that on Roblox, man? What the fuck? I thought it was like GTA or something like that, like flipping, like you're trying to build like a property empire, like a condo. I don't know what the fuck that shit was. Holy fuck. Luckily I didn't play that shit. How you doing, HME? You good, brother? I like doing desktops, HME. Oh, god damn. Yeah, I think I meant to do the I think we'll do a react video. I'll find something interesting. And then we'll do a I should make the waffles. No, you didn't, Lotion. You're a troll, brother. But everyone here at one point has been a little bit of a troll and then become well, not everyone, but a lot of chat previously. It's like a big night tonight. Why? What you got planned? You going oot? I'm gonna go for a quick sig. You going oot? Alright, I've got React. Should I make the waffles without the recipe? I really don't feel like it. Fuck the waffles without the recipe today. We'll do that tomorrow. React video, and then Minecraft, and then dinner. So already no, it's coming up to 8. Tonight's the night. HME, brother. Once I get my bank account right from these desktop streams, eventually, hopefully, touch wood, then every night could be a big night, brother. Cheap as expensive cigarettes. Yo, Spluchin. Why when I'm about to go does the views start going up? I like, as in not go, but I'm gonna go for a cig. Why every time I'm gonna take a break do the views start looking nice? I made a kebab shop when I work in Minecraft. TikTok. What does TikTok mean, HME? What do you mean, brother? I know. My bad. I remember you always saying that. You kind of have your own memes, and that sometimes I feel like that your memes are an audience of one, HME, yourself. I can't leave the SIGs, boys. I just don't do it inside Fazza, and I'm trying actually not to do it on stream. Bring back TTS. I'm banned from SIGs. Ah, we didn't have HME's job in the job tier list we just did. Do you want to see my tier list, HME, for jobs? Yeah, fair. What, you busy with work? You getting that Skrilla? That paper? I wonder one day if I'll have a bigger bank account than you. That'd be cool. Then I'll send you a donut. Oh, you want to see the list? There you go, brother. My room looks like Asmongold's before he attempts to clean it. My room is a lot worse than Asmongold's. He's got a fake dirty room. These are all good jobs, Road. You gotta have a different perspective, brother. You just mean prestigious jobs, and those are some of the worst. Carpentry is a great job. Have I got a fiance? I'm currently sat here on a Friday night ranking jobs. Does it look like I've got a fiance? I knew you'd say that, HME. The boys pressured me. I couldn't put it above all of. I actually couldn't put it above all those other jobs though, so it had to be F. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's an opinion. Yeah, God damn it. She looks low-key like odd though. Or OF is like Twitch. The only top creators make good money. Yeah, too, bro. That's kind of true. That's true. Hopefully one day we'll be one of the top creators. My God, it's a long road. Name 5 fiancés. No. I was going to try to come up with 5 names of women, but I can't do it. Oh, no. What? Oh, brother. It's not anything... it's something you can send in the post, right? Remember, that shit can be tracked. Yeah, I need to... I'll set that up over the weekend, the PO box. I'll post it on the Discord, lads. Sploochin, that's bloody true, brother. That's bloody true. But according to my tax submissions, I do have a job, so... Nothing sent... Oh, okay. Dono? 6th of December, brother. That'll be... Oh, man. Wait, actually... I mean, you don't know. I mean, you don't know... Okay. Never mind. Alright, but if it is... I actually implore you not to send... Like, I'm not saying I think it's going to be a lot of money, but I implore you not to send a lot, because I don't actually want any one person sending me, like, a lot of money. I feel like, even if you have the abilities to send it, I don't want to feel that I owe someone something. Do you get what I mean? I don't know if it is that, though. I don't know what it is you're talking about. How old are you this year? 30, bro. Shit. Yeah, boys, we're going to have a... Well, I'd like you boys to send stuff that could be funny or fun to open on stream. It doesn't have to cost anything. I already owe you something. Oh, 2 scam donos, that's true. Alright, you kind of need to organize it with official, because it needs to be played. Like, if I just played it, it doesn't really work as a dono. Like, there's no timing in that, so he has to kind of play it at the right time. So if you give him the links, then he can do that, but it's quite long. It's because it was when it was like a bit dodgy, the flipping link thing wasn't working. Hot peppers on the way.